In the freezing winter of 1819, the toughest, most fearless military commander on the American frontier suffered a completely humiliating defeat, without a single shot being fired. General Andrew Jackson, the ruthless hero of New Orleans, marched his heavily armed soldiers toward a small Tennessee farmhouse, loudly boasting that he was going to capture the invisible entity terrorizing the town. But his heavy military carriage suddenly locked completely solid on a dry dirt road. As his horses foamed at the mouth trying to pull it, a terrifying, disembodied woman's voice echoed from the trees, cackling wildly. When Jackson's smug witch-tamer stepped forward to shoot the spirit with a silver bullet, an invisible hand violently struck his face, grabbed him by the boots, and dragged him screaming out the door. Jackson was so horrified by the sheer power of the entity that he packed his camp and fled at dawn, famously declaring he would rather fight the entire British army than spend one more night with the Bell Witch. But what exactly was the Bell Witch, and how did she become the most terrifying, documented supernatural force in American history? The absolute nightmare began in 1817 in the Red River settlement of Tennessee. A respected farmer named John Bell was inspecting his cornfields when he came face to face with an absolute abomination. Standing between the rows of corn was a grotesque, unnatural beast. It had the muscular, mangy body of a massive feral dog, but the severed, twitching head of a giant rabbit. Bell fired his rifle, but the creature simply vanished into thin air. That very night, the terror moved indoors. The walls of the Bell family cabin began violently shaking with the sound of heavy iron chains dragging across the floorboards, massive boulders dropping on the roof, and the horrific sound of dogs viciously fighting in the dark. This wasn't just a bump-in-the-night ghost. The Bell Witch was a violently aggressive physical entity that seemed entirely focused on destroying John Bell and his young daughter Betsy. The attacks rapidly escalated from eerie knocks to pure physical torture. In the dead of night, invisible hands would ruthlessly rip the covers off the beds, violently pull the family's hair, and deliver stinging slaps that left bright red handprints on their skin. But the witch refused to stay invisible. She began openly shape-shifting to terrify the entire county. Locals traveling the dark frontier roads reported being stalked by a massive rabid black hound with burning, unnatural red eyes that would sprint alongside their wagons before melting into the shadows. Other times she appeared as a terrifying, hunched old woman with rotting teeth and hollow black eyes, whispering curses into the ears of terrified farmers. She possessed an impossible knowledge of the town's darkest secrets, publicly screaming out the sins and hidden crimes of the neighbors during Sunday church services, her disembodied voice echoing from the rafters. The relentless physical and psychological torture finally broke John Bell. In December 2020, he fell into a deep, agonizing coma. When the family searched the room, they found a strange, dark vial of liquid hidden in the cupboard. As John took his final shuddering breath, the Bell Witch's voice boomed triumphantly through the cabin, gleefully bragging that she had finally poisoned the old man. To prove it, she forced a drop of the black liquid into the mouth of the family cat, which violently convulsed and died instantly. As John Bell was buried, the entity sang a joyful, echoing drinking song from the graveyard. Shortly after the funeral, the entity announced she was leaving, but promised she would return to the descendants of the Bell family in exactly 107 years. Did she keep her terrifying promise in 1935? To this day, the dark, limestone depths of the Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee, remain one of the most haunted locations in America, with locals still reporting mysterious glowing red eyes and chilling laughter echoing from the absolute darkness. The American frontier is filled with deep, terrifying history. What is the most famous, horrifying local legend from your home state? Tell us the story down in the comments.